I'm Casey Felton. This is my comm 111 informational speech. This is my audience. It happens to be my kids and my wife, and then got my other son sitting over here. Oh my gosh. So these are my notes that I will be using to go off of. So, hi, my name is Casey Felton, and I will be doing my informative speech on the First Amendment, more specifically within that the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press. So on December the 15th, 1791, the First Amendment, along with 9 other original amendments, were adopted into the U.S. Constitution. It reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So I want to run down this kind of in a series of events, starting in the early 1900s, moving up through current times. The freedom of speech really first started getting attacked directly after the outbreak of World War I with the Espionage Act of 1917. It was extremely broadly worded so that almost anything you did, you could be arrested for by the government. Okay, yes, I mean, espionage, we all think spies, Benedict Arnold, somebody like that. But they used it to say if you were passing any information to Germany or using what you know as any way to essentially put our soldiers and sailors into harm's way, that they could arrest you. They further added to this through the Sedition Act of 1918 and basically said if we, the government, don't like what you have to say, we can arrest you and hold you, try you, and send you to prison. But the way they worded it, anybody who was really a liberal thinker, any type of anarchy or anarchists or socialists, anybody that had to do with thinking that communism was was a good way of life, they would arrest those people, or anybody anti-war, period. There's lots of examples of this, of people that got thrown into prison. The Sedition Act was ultimately repealed in 1921. The Espionage Act, however, is still law, and that's what they used to prosecute Private First Class Bradley Manning, now known as Chelsea Manning. He was the soldier at the time that downloaded all of the documents and then passed them off to a Mr. Julian Assange. Julian Assange gained worldwide notoriety when his website, WikiLeaks, published approximately 7,000 documents, videos, and pictures of alleged secret operations, military crimes, but that's all through the eyes of people that didn't see the backstory. Yes, there are secret operations that happen all the time, but Chelsea Manning knowingly stole this information from the government with the proper security clearance that he had already signed all the paperwork acknowledging that what he viewed he was not allowed to discuss and or disclose unless given the proper authority, which as a PFC you have the authority to do nothing except what you're told. So I doubt anybody told him that he could release all of that stuff to a man that was known to take information and put it out in a public venue. Mr. Assange, after that, fled to an embassy in London. He's also wanted on some additional charges in Sweden. But he has never been charged with anything publicly, at least. He's never been charged with anything in the United States. He is afraid that if he leaves that embassy in London, he will be arrested by Sweden and then extradited secretly to the United States and be put on trial, essentially taking away his rights to a fair trial. He believes that he will be prosecuted, imprisoned, and then sentenced to death by the United States with nobody ever knowing, just to essentially shut him down. My biggest thing is about the whole free speech, freedom of the press, is what Julian Assange even did wrong? Did he break the law by publishing documents that had been illegally given to him and putting them onto the open web for everybody to see? The answer depends on how you view Mr. Assange. Is he a reporter? WikiLeaks is not technically a blog, but it's not his opinion. So does that make Mr. Assange a reporter? Was he free to do what he did? So, with your own research, try to judge, is what he did wrong? Thank you.